Orb presents the Season 3 Wrap-Up.
This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And it's the Season 3 Wrap-Up, baby.
Mm-hmm. Round up. Yeehaw.
Round them up.
You stay back there, Invisible Hand of Fate. No, you come forward. Dr. Quim, you stay back there.
This is, we're wrapping up Season 3 on the cusp of Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Verbal reminder to myself to get Brayden to record some intros.
No, he recorded the Season 4 intros already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, past Gary. Thanks, old me, who is like, let's get this out of the way. As opposed to new me that forgot all the favors that old me did.
Oh, man. Luck is just another name for hard work somebody else did. And sometimes that
somebody
other
else by which I might, my past self.
Earlier. Yeah. I mean, you did this 7 years ago, so no cell in you is exactly the same.
No.
Yeah.
The Gary.
We've been planning this for a while.
Yeah, so this episode we are going to talk about the special features in the DVD, which this time are only deleted scenes.
Yep.
Even though the flavor of the DVD, the wrapping of it, is very charming. And then kind of read your responses to Season 3, and then do first and worst. It's probably going to be a shorter episode, but that's okay, because right around the corner, my favorite season of the Venture Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Season 4, Sphinx.
Yeah.
Sphinx.
I am looking forward to it. We're going to get so much more shore leave. He's great. Yeah.
Thank God.
So let's talk about that DVD. It's a weird thing to lead with, but like I'm universally impressed pretty much with like most of the themes that they pick and commit to. I mean, this one is definitely my favorite. The 70s Atari kind of vibe to it.
Well, the picture of the real life crew.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe they did that. There's like a picture of like a human Hank, Dean, Rusty, and Doc and Brock there, and they look good. Like they look appropriate, hanging out in a 70s basement.
Mm-hmm. I forget what it was, but like one of them, I think it might have been Sinterklaas. It's like, oh yeah, we need a Rusty Venture outfit, or not a Rusty Venture. We need a Dean Venture outfit, and he's like, oh, I just have that. So, like minimal preparation or modification needed to just roll out a picture perfect Dean Venture. Yeah,
very, very, very fun. And then the DVD menus have all these little Venture Brothers, like in television games or Atari games. Any kind of wood paneled console kind of thing, and they're really cute. I did miss the I wanted more actual special features.
Same.
And the deleted scenes we get are fine here, but I wanted a little bit more of that, I think.
Same. Yeah. Even if it was, I mean, like I liked the goofy creative stuff, the green, how do we composite and green screen stuff? Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah. Let's go through the deleted scenes here and then see, kind of do our season thought wrap up and then read everybody else's.
Yeah. Like as previously, a lot of these are extended scenes versus deleted scenes. Very little here is actually stuff that didn't happen in some form or flavor. So like in Shadow Man 9. We've got a call out like, apparently Phantom Limb, fixated on Sheila thinking that she was bitter about her voice.
Yeah.
As
that would make her a villain.
Yeah. As just looking for other people who would be bitter about their circumstances and, become a villain. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is useful for why, he didn't just target her for horny reasons.
Right.
Like as viewers of the show, it's really easy to get used to Dr. Girlfriend's voice and not think about it. The Doctor Sin had a original tag at the end with Sergeant Hatred learning that he's going to be able to arch Venture.
Yeah.
As opposed to that just kind of happening. Again, not a whole lot of stuff here. Home is where the hate is. We get a little bit of stuff with Dean yelling at Hank pissing in the fountain. But then the better thing is Hatred showing off his hobby room with his fake, like his action figure history dioramas of like, here's a Thundercat crossing the Rubicon with Noah and like, it's very good.
Yeah. As they say, history is his story with mysteries.
Yeah, it's very cute.
I really wish we would have gotten a full version of that, just because the animatic is really good with the monarch's expression work, as he's just completely bored and over it. Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen the dioramas as well.
Invisible Hand of Fate, like, this is actually a good cut. I think they had a lot more with Rusty and Pete in the bar, kind of talking about Rusty's sputtering career. I think that episode benefited from having very little Rusty, like making him like a cameo, because that like had nothing to do with the pacing of that already pretty crowded up.
They should have cut even more of it out.
Yeah.
We get a little bit more of the underground quiz, thing. Nothing really here. Him trying to answer questions while the dog is trying to attack him. That felt like a non sequitur to me a little bit. Yeah. I just don't. The dog is gonna attack you. Like, you're not an idiot.
Right.
The one thing I like is Billy asking what the Burger King Kids Club is, because this is a flashback,
right?
And just being like, oh, just you wait. Like, we're starting. The idea of the Burger King's Kids Club as like a clandestine spy, thing is good to me.
It's very good. I mean, it's he's talking with Hunter. They're sitting in the car. And Billy's like, "Don't I get like a uniform or something? You're not part of the Burger King Kids Club." Obviously this presages it, and he says, "We have eyes everywhere. Get ready for it."
Yeah, very good. It's very cute.
Yeah. And then also the scene we talked about during that episode, Richard Impossible leaving with all of his stuff after he gets fired. No jokes
in that scene.
Literally,
no wonder they cut it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that happens. It's just like a minute of two men talking. The buddy system, has a couple extended scenes with Billy explaining the quiz boy and stuff. I like the alchemist wanting to get to his song.
Yep.
And the reason why I like it is because he says he's going to replace Kiss Me with Safety, and Dr. Orpheus is a me and is like, "You're doing a Sixpence None the Richer song?" And then him being like, no, it's a Cure song. And I'm in the pocket for that as the premier Sixpence None the Richer remember.
God, that song was fucking everywhere. Like during that time, my family, we took like both sides of my family. I went on yearly vacations to South Carolina, to the beach. So two trips to South Carolina. And I did different beaches. One was Myrtle Beach, one was Edisto Island. But just being in the car for 10 hours and that song coming up on the radio every third song. So it is hammered into my head.
Oh yeah, they played it a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's real cute. More Monarch shtick with him not knowing how to use the computer. I don't care about that.
No.
Rusty improving to the gorilla, in the Eden, which is fine. But I think that I like the cut of that better. Like Kitten good, no bad frown, and then just cutting away to Billy being mauled is way funnier.
They did they did cut a good reference to Coco's fascination with nipples.
Oh yeah, Coco loved nipples, which is a weird thing. As soon as she saw, there's like a story with her. As soon as she saw Robin Williams, she has to see his nipples, which like that's a challenge mode thing because you got that fucking fur coat going on. You know, like nobody's seen Robin Williams' nipples.
Not even him.
Yeah. they're just freestanding at the top of his grave right now, floating to the top. Just two of them right surrounded by grass.
Oh god.
Like they were in life.
I thought the scene they cut from Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman was actually kind of cute.
This is good.
Yeah, they're just like, the two sets of the boy and girl adventurers who are talking about villains, but they have nothing in common because there's no crossover in the rogues gallery.
It's real weird. Like they're talking about the Sovereigness, Lady Sovereign rather, which is a really cute little like Lady Stardust Bowie thing. And then her just like, oh, is that the lady with the big legs and stuff? Like, no, that's Mommy Long Legs. Like them just kind of talking shop is really cute.
Did you hear that the Monarch and Dr. Girlfriend got married? We don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's very cute. Like the idea of there just being like the venture gender verse, like they're just doing all lady counterparts to all of this stuff is pretty funny to me.
Yeah, I just that supposes the existence of a doctor boyfriend, which is fun.
Oh, sure.
And B, like that is, I mean, kind of my favorite kind of Venture Brothers joke, which is it is both funny and also like relies on the world that's built. Like it's that good intersection.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Now Museum has a little bit more Scaramantula, a little bit more Colonel Gentleman's memoir, but I don't even really know what they added to that one.
No,
like I was just happy to watch the scene again because I like how he says Wally Schirra.
Wally Schirra.
Wally, go over dollars, Wally Schirra. Neither did he.
Oh man. Orb, this had, I mean, I can understand why they cut it, but I just wanted more Alchemist, like him talking about don't date a bartender because they're all sluts.
Yeah, it's very, very funny. It's super cute.
Just his existential crisis, sitting there eating dinner with a teddy bear. Oh,
there's also one in here. It's not in the notes, but they also has the one where he goes and talks to the master. In this one. Yeah, because they're trying to get help for. Or no, that's in What Goes Down Must Come Up.
Oh,
there's one where he goes and talks to the master, and we get to hear Doc Hammer's like pretty shitty the master impersonation.
Oh,
like the animatic is, I don't know what's happening in it. Like he's like a giant robot.
Okay.
For some reason with a lady. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So I must have skipped that on the menu. I apologize for not doing my due diligence there. I just figured they didn't have that because it was a Ben Edlund joint.
No, yeah, there's a deleted scene in that one.
Oh,
yeah, it's just real weird.
Yeah.
And a couple other just extended scenes, but they don't do anything because a lot of them don't. Like more of the Art of Noise guys in the backseat calling out Rusty.
Yeah. Oh, correction. What Goes Down was not Ben Edlund. I'm thinking of the Scooby-Doo episode. I'm thinking of that. Yeah.
I assumed that when you said Ben Edlund, you were trying to talk about them not having a deleted scene because of John Benjamin doing the voice of the master.
No, that's ultimately why they couldn't put the master in there, is because they couldn't get John Benjamin to do it. Also, I'm not surprised that somebody can't do a good John Benjamin because he's kind of inimitable. Yeah,
Doc Hammer does not do a passable John Benjamin.
No,
and it's also like it's just very hard to know from the animatic what it was even supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's and that's not its fault. Like there might be sight gags in there that don't come across.
Yeah.
In animatic.
Yeah. Just back to Orb for a second. I like the continuation of Kano roasting Rusty. Just because in the episode he was like, "Oh, where did he find the orb?" when he was searching for money in the couch cushions, which is already a pretty good burn. But just like, no, his friend found it. Oh, who would be his friend? He's so unpleasant.
Just this silent bodyguard who's been putting up with Rusty shit his entire life.
Yeah,
like it's very good.
Yeah.
The finale, has a couple little bits, but again, nothing. I don't miss any of this stuff.
No.
This is some of those or very little of this stuff. I like this little bit with Henchman 24, like where it looks like he's hacking a safe, but he's figuring out the microwave.
Yep.
The way I like that is because microwaves are kind of like showers, where like we all have them, but they're all just different enough to where you kind of could use guidance on them.
Yeah. And
they're just like stupidly non-standardized.
Yeah. And also like if you get good at a microwave, you feel pretty good about it. I really relate to Henchman 24 saying, the secret, the minute plus button. Like, yeah, no, you got to watch that. Just like me saying, the secret, the percentage of power button. Like, cook it at 70%. That's the ticket.
That's the thing. Can I, since this is gonna be a short episode anyway, can I distract you with something that is entirely non sequiturous?
Sure. Yeah.
I have a poster for Duckfest 1 up next to my recording studio.
Okay.
There's a typo on that poster.
What?
It says for the address, it says Clinton Street Theater, Portland, and then Oregon is abbreviated O.R.
Okay.
That's not how you abbreviate a state.
No, it's not. Huh. Yeah. I wonder how.
So it's like Oregon, Rorigan, or something like that. Like,
yeah, no,
That like, how you doing? 2019, Cole? Feeling weird? Like 2 years ago almost to the day.
Yeah, just about. I mean, My only defense is language is about communication, and people probably understood what Portland was talking about.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could argue that you don't need to add the Oregon to it,
Yeah,
even though we only put the posters up in one spot,
right.
in
In one city. Yeah. Huh.
I'm just upset that I've never noticed it before. I've been looking at it a lot, and
yeah.
I definitely proofed the poster, and a lot of people saw that poster.
Yeah, the first time. I mean, we definitely did do it in the one operating room in Portland, though.
Yeah. It was and we all did wear OR scrubs, aka Rip-roarin scrubs. Yeah. Huh. So anywho, yeah, I couldn't, once I saw it, I couldn't like unnotice it. It's like the duck is on the poster is looking at me.
Judging. Just waiting. Just like, finally.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I like the ghost is just going to disappear now. There's also a little bit where Holy Diver can only pray because the sword is fake. As opposed, so sure. In the second part of the finale, we get a little bit more of the interrogation. This feels like improv. Yeah. Rusty saying that he's a doctor, so Latour was a biology demonstration for his homeschooled sons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A little bit with the Monarch picking people, henchmen for a mission. Nobody wants to sign up because they know it's that they're going to die.
Right.
And then the most like plot important thing is Sergeant Hatred being the one who convinces Dr. Venture to send in the clone slugs and let the boys grow up. Yeah. Which is weird because he kind of doesn't make that decision on camera. No. In the actual episode.
No, it I kind of miss that. That I think would have served, motivating that big enough choice. It kind of, because like at the beginning of the next season, it's a little it feels a little haphazard. Like,
yeah. Well, it adds a little value to Sergeant Hatred as well.
Yes.
Like the reason why the crew is okay with him even, or like Doc is, okay with him. Like he has a lot of resentment for Sergeant Hatred, but like he's, signed him on as a bodyguard. Mm-hmm. Presumably has some kind of say in that. Yeah. But, it's interesting that he still has a bodyguard, even though Operation Rusty's Blanket has been... Boy, they really dropped the orb thread.
They really did?
Yeah. They really put that together. It's like, why does he still have a bodyguard assigned by OSI?
Yeah.
If that was literally just to protect the orb.
Institutional inertia.
Yeah, God damn it, Doc Hammer. Come on, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Season 3. Where are you at on season 3? What do you think of season 3?
It's a little bit more inconsistent than I remembered it being. That said, though, the highs are really high, and I think that especially as you get toward the back of the season, like when it starts picking up momentum, that's when it starts really, I think, working pretty great. Even though the highest is probably, still the hangout episode, like the buddy system. Not to get into first and worst yet, but like. It's weird how the thing that this season does best is pick up momentum, yet its best episode is still the hangout one that kind of defies momentum.
Yeah, it's them experimenting with momentum and lore. Is kind of how I see it. Yeah, even down to Orb, like this is them playing with the idea that there's a history behind all of these characters, and almost like a parlor game of like, we created Billy Quizboy to be missing a hand, have an eye patch, and wear a black armband. Yeah. Now, what can we fill in that those Mad Libs to make that count? And like, I appreciate it as like a writing exercise, and I think that they made really entertaining episodes out of it. Yes. It just also it does have that feeling a little bit of a writing exercise to me. At parts, which is not a bad thing, but it is. I don't think this is them getting the balance quite yet. Like the lore comedy balance, lore hangout balance. They're on their way. Yeah. So it feels like a transitional season to me.
And they're gonna really hit their stride in season 4, as we've alluded to.
Yeah, I really like season 4. Yeah. And then kind of lose their stride a little bit in season 5. And then flip the whole table over. And then shortly after that, the show ends. Yep.
We're waiting for the movie.
Then the podcast over. So first and worst, you alluded, is your first the buddy system?
I'm going to have to say, yeah. that feels a little I don't know if it feels a little easy. But yeah, it's the way that I feel. Buddy System is
It's a
good.
great episode.
Yeah.
Like that, it is so good. Like you didn't raise your hand. Who didn't raise their hand? Action Johnny didn't raise his hand. Like it is a really great episode.
Yeah, it's a good sampler that kind of like gets some really, just a little bit. It's a flight. You just get a little bit of the best of every little established thing. It's great.
Yeah, very 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 cute. All the stuff with Dr. Z at the end. Like that is a really good episode. That is like a secret good episode of the show. Like thinking back on it, I didn't really remember it, and it's much better than I remembered.
Yeah,
like that's a great one. I will give it to Now a Museum, Now You Don't.
Yeah.
Formerly The Doctor Is Sin. I love The Doctor Is Sin still, but Now a Museum, Now You Don't. All the stuff with like I like it being an episode about JJ. I like all of the stuff. Like I like the Pirate Captain a whole lot, and Old Team Venture, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Scaramangela is such a charismatic voice performance.
Brain Yellow, come on.
Yeah, Brain Yellow is real good. The ending really gets me. They're like, he's family, Brock. Get the fuck out of here. Like that really gets me. Yeah. It is that is and it is a fun watch. It feels like we're all over the place with the museum and characters. It's also like a sampler kind of episode.
Yeah.
Like just minus Dermot, which is a bummer. But
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
As far as worst, I'm going to sidestep.
I'm gonna
Okay.
Yeah, I'm eliminating Dr. Quim as a answer because that's the obvious one. So that's the worst. But let's do second worst because that's
right. Probably What Goes Down Must Come Up.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it just kind of flat. It's kind of flat for me. I think that it, that like when I think about it, I like just there are a bunch of people dressed like music video characters. I remember, and also oh gosh, I even forget what I was gonna say was what was a highlight for it.
you didn't even want to watch the deleted scene.
I did.
You're like the deleted scenes were there, and you're like, "Fuck this."
Just
I don't care. This is the podcast. I don't give a shit.
Fuck
this episode.
Just skipped over it. Yeah, it just it is a little bit too, I think, like wrapped up in its concept for me to for me to feel like especially jazzed about it. It's a neat concept, but doesn't have enough for me, And also like the Dr. Entman's kind of the pacing killer.
Dr. Entman is a rough putt
to me. Yeah. It just kind of a mess. It's kind of a mess and it trips over itself.
Yeah. I agree. It's not great. But to me, I have to give it to Tears of a Sea Cow. I don't like that episode.
Yeah.
I find the Monarch stuff in it annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I don't like that episode. I don't know where in the Venture Brothers, like I become less interested in the Monarch than I am with the main people. Like I have a distinct feeling, the next season Monarch takes largely a backseat during a lot of it because we got a lot of Sphinx stuff. And then when he comes back as the Blue Morpho, and that's really cool. And we start getting into guild politics, but one of the reasons I'm really happy that there's a movie or there's something to cap this off is because the final little bit of him joining the guild feels like such an anticlimax to me.
Yeah.
Like it's just very hard for me to kill about them reenacting the first villain or for easy for me to care.
Yeah.
It's very easy for me to kill, but it's hard for me to care about that scene. So at some point, like I just get more interested in the rest of the world and the Ventures than I do the Monarch.
Yeah.
So a Monarch focus episode, like I like the beginning of Tears of a Sea Cow. Like I love Dr. Dudong, Dugong, but after that it loses me.
Yeah.
So
the thing that I when I think of Tears of a Sea Cow that sticks out is literally just Shallow Gravy.
Yeah,
and
I love Shallow Gravy.
Yeah,
like absolutely, like Shallow Gravy, that song, that helper beat, like all that stuff is very good. It just it feels like a really weirdly empty episode in a season that needed more like a lot of episodes felt like they needed more breathing room.
Yeah.
I just that episode is just like just real wide open. It's man spreading all over the season.
Yeah,
just taking some time. Yeah. So good, but we got better things ahead. Do you like this more than you like season 2?
No, I don't think I do. I like season 2 more.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Season 2 is just really, really great and weirder to me. So
yeah, I think the lows in season 2 are lower. You've got both Love Bites and State Dinner, but like I don't know.
Yeah,
You've got Powerless
is
in the
Love
Face
Bites
of Death.
worse than Quim? You know, like it's hard to say.
I would say yeah. I would say Love Bites is worse than Quim. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do think that State Dinner is at least as bad.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah. But then you also get the Scooby Gang, the Groovy Gang.
Yeah.
And come on, season 2 is
season 2 is very good. Yeah.
Looking forward to talking about season 4. Here. You guys had some thoughts about season 3 as well, which we will read right now.
Yeah. I'll get us started with Gavin, who says, "Hello, and thanks for launching Orb. I hadn't tried to watch this before, but this got me to give it a try, and the show has been a delight. Pete mentioning Riven was amazing. I've been able to watch the show straight through since all the episodes are available to me at once, and it's interesting to hear you discuss the way longtime fans had to wait for years between seasons. I wonder if having zero interruptions might help to make the experience less frustrating, as I know from the start that 7 seasons are in the can. I had something similar happen when my spouse and I were watching Superman the animated series, and I remember liking it as a kid, but it always seemed to be a rerun. Watching it without having to wait a year for a new episode definitely made it a lot more fun." Absolutely. Yeah.
The Venture Brothers wait sucked because I always wanted to just rewatch the series from the beginning to remind myself of all the lore and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just became increasingly untenable as there was a wait between every season. You know, and I would just kind of like wake up one day and be like, "Oh, the Venture Brothers are actually out." Like I didn't like mark my calendar or anything because it became a really frustrating thing to get that invested in. You know, it was just kind of, it would show up when it would show up and then I would watch it.
Yeah.
It definitely like impacted, you know, and I would be really interested to see how much it impacted like the success of the show in a more objective sense. You know, like did that impact DVD sales or it's, you know, did that contribute to its ultimate cancellation? Things like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, what Gavin is alluding to, you know, I think is something that, like, I think is going to be taken more for granted as we're, you know, 5 years into calling television shows bingeable, you know? But, like, I don't know. I, like, if there's a show out that just has one season, even if I could watch that whole season in a go, I kind of am less apt to get into it than if it's all over, you know?
Yeah. I'm sitting here waiting for the 5th season of Better Call Saul to show up on Netflix, and I'm furious. Like, I just wish that I had waited.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like really fun to watch and everything. And in the beginning, I'm like, oh, yeah, this will never end. I got 4 whole seasons. Nope. You know, it goes by pretty quick.
It does.
And now I'm just kind of fucked.
You know, and you could call that impatience, but like transitioning into and out of, getting invested in a world and its characters and remembering what happened before and remembering like what your guesses were for what was going to happen next. Like that actually does take energy, you know? And, you know, going in and out. It sucks to have it be scattered. It sucks to have it be interrupted. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And you know, you can call it impatience, but I also don't like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I can be impatient about this. I don't like, if that's the worst thing I do, that's still pretty good, you know? So yeah. Moving on. Chris says via contact, just thought I'd submit a couple of thoughts I had from the season. First of all, on the Dr. Killinger episode of the 25 cents in the high yield mutual fund. Most anybody in the financial world wouldn't take on an investment this small. And even if they did, from 2008 to today, you'd be looking at making 50 cents if your financial manager rounded up on your fraction of a cent gain. However, a different investment opportunity started in 2008 that could turn a quarter into tens of thousands of dollars, Bitcoin. Other things that would have been better investments than waiting over a decade to turn a quarter into 50 cents, literally any candy you could afford because it would be more enjoyable, or any small toy you could buy from a vending machine. Secondly, and more importantly, on the Orb episode of Orb, the website they visit, while I can't remember the specifics of the URL, is not a modern URL and ARPA. It is not a modern URL. It is an ARPA, the predecessor to our modern internet that started in the 70s. It takes basically no stretch of the imagination to think that Jonas Sr. was involved in the creation of it, as he was a super scientist with major government contracts, and with how he did things, it wouldn't be surprising for him to have wrote something that would still be up, either through building it into the code that everything is based off of, the government never seeing a reason to take it down, then forgetting about its existence, or even a fanboy coder keeping it there purposefully. It's quite plausible that the website would still exist, so pick on the episode for different flaws. Anyway, love the show. Keep up the great work.
So first off, people are only allowed to get mad at Gary for nitpicking things. You can't come at me for it, okay?
Yeah. I provide a beard for all of Cole's worst qualities. There are a lot of things that Cole does that we both do, and only I get yelled at for them because I'm louder about it. But not always. Like every once in a while, you'll just scream and about something, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I do provide a smokescreen for Cole's crapulence as a function of the network, and it's part of how I earn my keep on here. So do not come at Cole for nitpicking. I am the person who nitpicks and hates fun.
Right.
Cole loves fun and is a pure and special boy who's never done anything wrong, and all his opinions are golden.
Yeah,
at least according to like the people who are consistently calling me out.
So just as long as we're clear about that, for the first one, I can't disagree with you. Me kind of going in and calling that good financial advice was partly for fun, you know. It's a little bit leaning into the character of Cole a little bit. I
think you wanted to tell people that you knew what a high yield mutual fund was
because I'm a good and special boy.
That's what I think it was. Yeah. Like, quite honestly.
And for the second one, it's not an ARPANET address. Like ARPANET addresses are they're like the IP addresses. Like I went and looked this up. Listen, don't tell me it's more code. It's all form type equals address. I was so close. And Pete says, I'm already regretting telling you this, but that's a URL. What? Billy, it's a website. The web didn't exist at the time, but the Rusty Adventure cartoon is from the 70s. And then they go in and put in 52 equals country equals US and geodiff. Like they're putting in a MapQuest URL into that. Also, I don't actually think that that's a problem with the episode. They call it out and the story needed to go. Like improbable things can happen for a story to progress. I was more just remarking on it, and it doesn't disqualify the entire thing.
Yeah, I don't remember how much time we spent on that bit, but I can't imagine it was like, put 15 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. So, and we did pick on the episode for other flaws.
Yeah, as always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then finishing out here with Corey, who says, listening to your episode on the Lepidopterus, it got me thinking about Ned and the ways that the character could have been drafted that would have better stood the test of time. Springboarding off of Gary's point that Ned works best as a Hulk smash meathead brute, it made me think that Ned would be better served as a straighter parody of Ben Grimm, specifically from the 60s Fantastic Four cartoon, where he's characterized as a block-headed tough guy from the Bronx, who's very stupid, confident, and quick to anger. I think interrogating the weird insecurities and defensiveness of a self-styled macho dude who has turned into a rock would have fit very well with the show, and you could still keep many of the gags in the show. Ned had an ice cream clown robot because his therapist is encouraging him to express himself. He's depressed and insecure about his whole body hurting, etc., being callous, and it would still be a fun juxtaposition between tough rock man and dumb sensitive guy with many issues, but I wouldn't feel like it's punching down. Just my thoughts. I absolutely love your coverage of the series. It has been an invaluable companion to rewatching it. Thanks for being such rad dudes. Thanks for the excellent content. Thank you, Corey. They say, P.S. I've listened to so much Watch Out for Fireballs at this point that whenever that show ends, I keep expecting the Go Team Venture to be preceded by Gary asking, and where can they go, Cole? Even though that makes no sense.
Yep.
That's a good idea for a sign-off.
Where can they go? I understand. Like, I like the idea of a Ben Grimm parody in this. I understand when I think about them doing this as kind of like a Hulk thing, like the Hulk is dumb, and then what in the mid 2000s the idea of dumb was somebody with mental, who's disabled. Like that would have been a way to do it, I think. But it also, we do a lot of apologia. I don't know how to pronounce that word correct, in the show for the boys, but like they were doing it because they thought it was funny that he was mentally disabled.
Yep.
Like I think that it would have been, I don't think that's a good choice, but I understand why they did that, because it was like a rational choice in that respect. Like it was in line with what they thought.
Yeah. And that is not to damn them, because they realized there was a problem over time and stopped using them. Yeah. it stopped making him an object of fun. So good thumbs up on them for that. But, it's still true. They had him they made it that way because they thought it was a fun joke for their comedy show.
Yeah. I also think the other reason why they might not have done a Ben Grimm ultra masculine thing is because it might have stepped on Brock's toes too much. Like Brock tends to be their outlet for all of their ultra masculine kind of stuff. I'm not trying to crap on your idea.
No.
Like I think
it would, I think your idea definitely would have aged better. And that was your goal. And there could still be jokes about both the source material and the world.
Thanks everybody for writing in. We'll put out the call for season 4 as well. Pocket has jumped up onto my desk and I have no idea what to do. So we got to end this episode so we can take care of that. What should people do if they like the show?
Does he have a pistol leveled at you? Like what's going on?
No, he's gonna, like, there's a lot of precarious things on this desk. Okay. I don't want him to like destroy the recording.
Okay.
Like if he unplugs the audio interface, my computer crashes. So, tell them what they can do, Cole.
People can go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and get episodes of this show a whole week early and support your boys. Get bonus episodes of other shows, whole bonus shows, things like that. You can also go and leave us rating and reviews on iTunes or whatever podcast directory that you get us from, and tell your friends. But most of all, where can they go, Gary?
They can go
Team Venture.
Team Venture.